Gus the Goose, logging in my winter journal at 11:45 p.m. It's been about 3 months since I embarked on the quest to seek out the summer cooler crates, fell from outer space, and became separated from all my comrades, among other things. Although it feels like it's been 3 years, time seems to move slower on Snowycoast, which is where I've been making my living, which is to say I live here. It's not so bad. I get an office to myself to store my weapons, even though the light never seems to work properly, and all I gotta do for these people is build health dispensers so they can shoot each other in the gut-shattering cold. But after all the destruction, demo men missing with the charge and targe, and salty snipers, I get to sleep peacefully in my office. Sure, they leave all their crap everywhere, and somebody always seems to leave the door open. It's either the Roamer soldier on the Sixes team or the Pyro on the Highlander team. I don't really know. And occasionally I have to try and fix all the stuff that's riddled around in the snow. But it is nice and peaceful at night. One thing for sure, it sure as heck beats being in prison. Not to say that I'm alone. Far from it, actually. I got Copper with me, my chameleon from last summer. And all my old stuff, including my weapons, like my classic huntsman, my new panic attack, my new festive weapons, and my trusty festive wrench and frying pan. Those festive weapons, the old ones, that is, those are pretty cool. I'd argue the best ones came out of those 2013 and 2014 winter crates, and those updates were awesome. The festive weapons were neat twists on the normal items, showing the world that you love the stock rocket launcher that much more. The 2014 update even gave us 3 new weapons: the Quickie Bomb Launcher, the Iron Bomber, and the Panic Attack, which I have taken a liking to using as of late. One day I hope to go on another trading quest for all of those crates too, just like I did the summer ones. Smissmass is just around the corner, so what is stopping me? Sure, I'm going to need a coat, since it is awful cold outside, but why the heck not? Same rules as last time, except I have to have the panic attack on me at all times. I'll log my progress at the end of the next day. Tell Copper to grab my strange candy cane and meet me at Trade NGS Day when Smissmass drops. It wasn't long into my voyage before I encountered a large trade server contained in a portal-themed warehouse-like area. Right off the bat, I started inquiring about the crates. While I was doing that, I noticed a strange room. It was a ceasefire room, no combat going on inside. And the removal of combat didn't remove, well, chaos. Everyone is running around and dancing and yelling. I even had a heavy that tried to tickle me with mittens. It was pretty funny. And here I showed off my trusty frying pan on my quest to become the ultimate frying pan warrior. But that's a whole other story. Let's get back to the crates, shall we? In spawn, I found an idle demo man and medic. At least they appeared idle. This man had a nice festive grenade launcher who was staring at his medic, about as useful as a statue. I asked him to get going, and he stubbornly refused. As for the last time that I was here, there was a very large sentry nest up in a cubby, seemingly used for ventilation, but here used for domination. But before I could take care of it, a scout swiftly came in and took care of me. I couldn't get close or the sentries would destroy me, so I decided to let the sentries be and continue sprawling with some neighborhood scouts. And it was here I finally got some use out of that panic attack. A few minutes later, I encountered a trader named Lunk. I asked him for some crates, as many as he had, because I needed as many as I could find by Christmas, or Smissmass. And of course he obliged with 2 of each kind. No longer needing this strange, odd, unusual warehouse, I marveled at my collection and went on my way. With the first step on my journey now complete, I decided I had to get going. I exchanged my goodbyes with Lunk and all the other traders and their lovely festive weapons, and realized I couldn't use the boat I used to get here because, well, there was no more water. With the help of a fellow engineer, I built a teleporter, hoping it would take me where the winter crates are.
Much obliged, partner. That there wasn't getting any lighter.
I soon arrived in a Minecraft-themed server. After quarreling with, what else, a scout, I began asking around for winter crates, directions, and shelter. Unfortunately, there were no winter crates here, so I shot a demo knight in the crotch to obtain directions. In exchange for some free spy checking, he gave me the directions to a trade server that might have my crates, although it was very far away. So on the way there, I had to pass through... I had arrived at CDF2 Fort. Although I love my federal casemaker to death, I probably should blend in so the people here will be more cooperative. I dusted off my old gibus and placed it on my head. But I'm still going to keep on the coat that my friend Doctor gave me. More on that later. After a quick look in the mirror and a quick change in minigun, I decided I was ready. My strategy here was to utilize my Killing Gloves of Boxing to gain crits on my panic attack. Killing Gloves of Boxing is probably my favorite pair of boxing gloves for the heavy weapons guy, and I try to use them as much as possible, although meleeing people as a heavy is not always practical in the heat of combat. But what can I say? I'm a sucker for crits. On the ground, I found a pretty cool looking Festive shotgun. The Christmas lights are pretty charming and appropriate for this time of season, but to my panic attack, I must be faithful. at least for this challenge. A quick sprawl with a demo night soon led me to realize that I was having a bit of an engineer problem today, particularly with a certain gunslinger engineer. A quick stroll into the blue sewers had made me notice that the engineer was setting up shop here. Dispenser, teleporter, sentry, the whole shebang. Using him and a medic's help, I decided to make a push in. Although my push was cut short, the pyro had boosted me up, on accident mind you, to help me take out his medic. Thank you? While in Spawn, I decided to take it one step further and bring nostalgia right close to the heart, or close to my eyes, and equip my old Pyrovision goggles. Don't worry, I had to dust those off too. Soon now taken to the colorful realm of Pyroland, I think I was ready to face the big bad Two-Fort world once again, before, soon, setting on my way for my winter quest. It was soon then that I felt an urge to build dispensers, so I switched to engineer so I could provide health for my team. After all, who doesn't love a good dispenser? Here's here where I noticed something magical and most definitely satisfying. Build a dispenser where your team can see it and they will all conjugate around it. It's that magic of giving health to people that, well, feels quite good.
Success. We have secured the enemy intelligence.
However, just the same as a good dispenser placement can bring all your team together, you also must watch out, because your enemies will destroy your dispenser just the same. It was here I met an engineer buddy, and he was building a sentry. He didn't seem to be too good at it, so I decided to help him out, engineer to engineer. He seemed to appreciate it. While we were there, we exchanged taunts. Well, the stock pistol taunt. Over and over again. No words were spoken, but it seemed like a million words were being said. I was chasing a spy down. He was making a daring escape, but I just barely hit him with my pistol before he could grab the health pack. Quicker than you can say cardboard boxed black box, someone had captured the intelligence in our team and the round was over. A blessing and a curse, because I would have stayed here forever if that hadn't happened. And a curse because, well, I was having a lot of fun. But my winter crate quest is not over. I must get as much as possible, so I made my onward. Unfortunately, the next map might not be so conventional, as it's a versus Saxton Hale map.
Welcome to Versus Saxton Hale mode. In this revolutionary community game mode, the red team must sprawl against a very powerful boss enemy, one man on the blue team with a lot of health and crit weapons. However, the red team has two powerful tools, guns and Curtis. Good luck out there.
A beautiful sky resort was taken over by a bunch of horrible, horrible monsters, including the headless, horseless horsemen, straight out of Halloween. Of course, the red team has shown up to rid the world of these horrid monsters in these lovely places, and I just happened to be on board. The best I could do right now is survive. My panic attack is an amazing weapon, but it's no good tool for taking out giant scary monsters with head-removing axes. All I could do was watch the carnage unfold in front of me, although the red team was certainly making a valiant effort to rid the world of this horrid monster. A medic was reviving his teammates with the power of his minigun. My panic attack wasn't made for this, nor my lollipop or festive backburner. Those were just made for taking out traitors and people in casual. But this is well beyond my league. This is not to say I was useless. I did manage to get a few of my inaccurate, widespread panic attack pellets into the headless horseman. Or headed horseman? As I began to come to from my strange dream, the medic had revived me. This triumphant moment was cut short as I ran into the tram and plummeted to the arena below.
That's funny right there.
I think I was mad about something.
What?
I think I was mad. Everyone's getting mad at me.
Once I was on the ground, I met an old friend I did not expect to find here, holding his own against these horrid monsters, named Doctor. I asked him if he had any winter crates, and he said he had many, and he wasn't kidding. After a short trade, I realized just how many of these wonderfully wrapped gifts I'd now acquired, and he even gave me a new winter coat because, well, I was shivering.
Pull out pyro that I'm not trying.
We will return to Winter Crate's story after these short difficulties.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic edition of Scout 101. On today's Smissmass, we're talking about the sweet, the minty, the giant, the painful, the candy cane. Are you sick of being low on health after each 1v1? Are you sick of playing trade servers in which the map maker didn't put a single frickin' health pack? Well then look no further than the candy cane. On kill, your opponent drops a sweet, juicy, small health pack for you or your teammates grabbing. Bam! That's all it takes. Bam! It can be a pill bottle, a cupcake, a chocolate bar, whatever. Who cares? Bam! Are you an aspiring map maker who's looking to get used to health pack placement? Well, get some on-field, on-the-spot training with the candy cane. Bam! Learn where good health pack placement is. Want to support your team? Well, use the Mad Milk, but you can also use this and drop health packs for them. Bam! You can even support your enemies if you'd like. Bam! The sky's the limit with the candy cane. Are you sick of those hoovies hogging the fun of giving people health packs and being friendly? Well, look no further than the candy cane. All you have to do is murder, and you'll be the one dropping health packs like crazy. Bam! Move aside, hoovies. Candy cane Scoot is here. Bam, 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 bam. Order now and we'll throw in a rap assassin. Absolutely not free. Come on, the strangers for both are like 2 are fine each. With the Rap Assassin, you can... order today!
We now return to the Winter Crate story.
Fuck. I was using the Uber saw. Can I use the Uber saw?
But someone's using the Jag.
On the way back home, I encountered an orange server full of, well, wrenches. A lot of people fighting with wrenches. Seeing as I'm a man not to back down from a good challenge, I decided to join in the fray, with my trusty Festive wrench in hand. I quickly found rivalry in the form of a demo knight with a katana. A skilled demo samurai who seemed to just be enjoying a Tuesday morning. It was here I decided to get some use finally out of my long idle Festive Wrangler. Needless to say, I could use some practice with my long idle Festive Wrangler. With some Wrench Warrior practice now in my belt, I decided to take my fellow engineer's teleporter. Little did I know.
Let's do this.
When I finally came to, I realized I had been teleported to a place of uncanny phantom familiarity. Almost to some sort of parallel universe, where I could not upgrade dispensers. And I could not move buildings on command. All I could do was march forth until I found some kind of civilization, which I eventually did in the parallel Dust Bowl. The map layout was familiar to me, but my missing panic attack was heartbreaking. This was no time to mourn, however. It was a 4 versus 4, including me, and the enemy team had set up a sentry base. It was up to me to use my minigun and normal shotgun to try to take down the enemy. However, their defense was fierce, and their sentry guns fiercer. Although that's technically part of their defense. I waited with my medic to build a recharge. I did not know these people, and, well, I struggled to communicate with them, because it seemed I had no words to say but medic. Were these people aware of the Team Fortress 2 I came from? Were they here deliberately? Or are they because they have no other option? With no answers to these questions, I instead just waited for the overcharge to be ready and taunted the demo man who set up a peculiar trap in front of this gate that only I could open. Soon the Ubercharge was ready and it was time to make my move. I used my fat scout training to take down the demo man. With only a little bit of Ubercharge left, I plunged at the sentry. Alas, it was too late, and the sentry gun took me down, as well as my medic. And the point would be defended another day. Although I could not communicate with these people, I had to get to them somehow. So I took a piece of knowledge I learned from, well, the Team Fortress 2 of my kind. I decided to try being a friendly hoovie in these strange and unusual places. I snuck around, hoping that the more aggressive of enemies would not spot me and take me down with no mercy, either deliberately or ignorantly. What happened next was truly one of the more memorable moments of my entire Winter Crate quest, even if it took place in an alternate dimension. The demo man placed stickies under my feet. At any moment he could destroy me, but he decided to quietly walk away and spare me. A heavy that had found me was not so merciful, and he had opened fire. Injured, I had to run away to the nearest health pack, and so I did. My friendly spy was waiting in the corner, disguised as an enemy medic, I believe. There was not more I could do but wait. Next thing you know, another heavy appears before me. Once more, I decided to attempt to utilize the hoovie techniques I had learned in all of my time in trade servers as a free-to-play. I crouched forward with my melee out, and all of a sudden, he does the same. An enemy on the other team. and we were sitting here making peace with each other. There's something truly magical about that, even in a parallel universe of Team Fortress 2. Just suddenly, I began feeling a strange tingling feeling. I could feel my strange weapon surging through me, the hats forming on my head. I was being transported back home. It was a slow awakening, but soon enough, I felt my festive wrench in my hand again. Although I was in some kind of strange cave, I was back home. With no time to waste, I began utilizing my lovely festive wrangler, which I'd just begun to finally appreciate, to make my way through the strange cave to civilization. I think I've had enough winter crate trading. I believe it's time to go home for Smissmass. Right under my nose while I was gone, Smissmass 2019 had become upon us. I was given a secret Saxton and a gift stuffed stocking, and I was excited that I hadn't missed the season by being in a parallel universe. Another festive upbringing, a gift of Polt, a name tag, some orange paint, a description tag, a war paint, a huntsman, a danger shield, a caber, and a much-needed backpack expander, which ironically led me into the reminder that my backpack was full of winter crates. After fiddling about in there a while, I expanded my backpack and I was ready to make my way back home. Wherever home was now. Wasn't long until I was thrust right back into Dust Bowl, but this time a more familiar Dust Bowl with my lovely frying pan, wrench, home wrecker, and most importantly, panic attack. I soon found my place defending as usual. I found a festive shotgun on the ground, and while I was gawking at it, I failed to notice the enemy teleporter not too far in front of me, in which a soldier quickly put me in my place. It was here I was also reunited with an old friend. another old friend, named Skull King. He was holding down his own here in Dust Bowl, which I guess is where he's been making his living, which is to say, he lives here. Not to say it's a bad place to go. I soon decided to help out my old friend before leaving and hold down the point as Pyro with Panic Attack. I had grown tired of waiting for a spy to sap the sentry. I decided to go in myself and take it on head first. And surprisingly enough, my carelessness led to success. Having captured the point, I exchanged high fives with Skull King. And exchanged goodbyes. For now at least, I've got a friend to meet in Hightower. However, I was still missing a lot of my stuff from being sent to a parallel universe, so I decided to head back to the resupply locker and reobtain my winter coat, heavy panic attack, boxing glove, and special minigun.
For unusual or anything strange for the cheap cosmetics. If you have any, please let me know. Thank you.
Seeing as the weather was still pretty cold, I decided to wrap my bare fists in the holiday punch. A lovely holiday package of tickling, friendliness, and uber stuffing if you try hard enough.
That will just kill any demand for Patriot people or Translator or literally any other supposedly god-tier roll-cost goes because that'll just be tactical pros.
Fucking blind. Oh, you're dead.
While I was here, I decided to use my Smissmass package to give my trusty frying pan a equally trusty and equally comedic description, and give Copper, who I had met up with pretty soon, what he always wanted for Smissmass, a new coat of paint. He was now an orange chameleon. In order to give out my secret Saxton in a poetic way, I decided to go back to Snowycoast, just one more time after a while. I'm not sure who the person was that got my item and what item they even got, but I hope they enjoy it.
Thanks, mate.
It seemed like it had been an eternity, but at last I'd finally made it. Hightower, now covered in snow, where my friend Donjon Power, as I'd heard from passerbys and friends, was waiting for his Smissmass. And soon, with a rocket direct to the face, I'd reunited with my old friend again. It took all the way up until Smissmass Eve, but I had finally done it. But there was one more thing that needed to be done for Smissmass time. I had decided to give away some of my winter 2013 and 2014 crates I had acquired in my quest to my friends as a memento. And although they are effectively worthless because they are, as written, A memento from an age long past, crates that are purely decorational and can be no longer opened. Hoping that they could serve as a different kind of memento, so that whenever someone would look down in their backpack and see those large wraps of coal or wooden crates wrapped in a red or green ribbon, they may remember a Smissmass from a time so magical. They may slip back there in their mind, just for a moment. And I hope that I can look at all the lovely memories I've made on this quest, including going to a parallel dimension, reuniting with old friends, and getting a nice big fat coat, that I may do the same. I embarked on this quest, similar to the reasons I embarked on the summer cooler quest I did. Although I didn't plan on going to a parallel universe, I didn't plan on running into all those old friends, I didn't plan on making all those new ones, but that's just what happened. And I'm happy it happened that way. It was a lovely time, a lovely Smissmass. And although it seems like the Tryhard Liberation Front, the group I called my home, seems to be in a bit of a hibernation, as a bear would in this time of year, I know we'll be back together. But enough worrying about the future. I think I'll just be happy right where I am in the chilly snow of Hightower. Hope you have a Merry Smissmass, a lovely Festivus. This is Gus the Goose, signing out for now.
What do you mean he is not here? I told the boss he would lead us right to the rest. Do you want to see what happens when the boss is mad about things? You two clean up that slime's body and prepare my airboat. I will hunt down these pitiful thieves and put them back on that island tower myself.